This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build your own website and online store. I've been using it for 2 years, and it's awesome. Master Grade. Debuting in 1995 as part of the 15th anniversary of Gunpla, for me they have always been the perfect Gundam model kit. Not too big, not too small, they're 1/100th the size of a mobile suit, which is such a perfectly round number. 10 years after its release, it evolved into Master Grade 2.0, its current form including a full internal inner frame and internal structure. Once again, this right here isn't a pure best and worst video. These are all my subjective personal favorites and least favorites from what I've built. For me, this was a very hard list to put together because when it comes to Master Grade, when they're good, they're absolutely fantastic, and that is most of the time. So much so that kind of boiling it down to my top 5 favorites is so difficult, and honestly, the 5 that I picked is subject to change on a daily basis. On the other end of the list, it was even harder, trying to find 5 Master Grades that I don't like that kind of makes, sense. So what I ended up with was just a bunch of kits that are not so great because they're old or because they're kind of half-arsed variants. Once again, this video will not be including premium Bandai releases because they are a little harder to get, so this is pure, full market releases only. But hey, that is enough about all of that. Let's get right on into my top 5 favorite and least favorite Master Grades. Are you looking to build your own website, start an online business, or even start your own online store? An online Gunpla store? Then may I suggest Squarespace. Is your passion for Gunpla so deep that you want to share the love by opening your own online Gunpla store? Well, the Squarespace commerce platform supports the way you do business. From online stores to keeping your inventory and sales data in sync between online and physical stores. Share your builds online in style by creating your own curated galleries of your kits. Embed videos of builds to bring your site to the next level. Connect your social posts for the full experience. And all with automatic image scaling to ensure it always looks right from desktop all the way to mobile. Check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Mecha Gaikotsu to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Coming in at the 5th position of my least favorite Master Grades is this right here. So this is a variant of the Master Grade Astray. The Master Grade Astray is a very good kit and has aged so well, but there's kind of a limit to what it can and can't do, and this kit kind of goes beyond it. This is the Master Grade Blue Frame D. So the actual blue frame we get here is a fine kit. It's absolutely perfect, just like all of the Master Grade Astrays tend to be. The issue is all the new, what I can only call detritus that is thrown all over its surface. It does look cool, definitely, but this thing can barely handle it. This is one of those kits I find is always falling over on my shelf, is always dropping pieces off, so all I can say is, once again, at its core it's really good, and if you're gonna build it, just make sure to put in that little bit of extra effort. Tighten up parts, even if it's just giving it a subtle top coat to do that. Just don't leave it straight built or it will fragment to pieces. Coming in at number 5 in my favorite Master Grades, this is the Master Grade Double Zeta Gundam Ver-Ka, and before I built this kit, I never thought there would be a Ver-Ka in my top favorite kits. I could almost, put this neck and neck with the Master Grade Fats Ver-Ka as well, which is a variant of this kit, but I do prefer the nature of the Double Zeta compared to the Fats. To make it even crazier, this is a transforming kit, and usually I find transformations tend to undermine the mobile suit aspect of a kit when, the transformation is thrown in there. The intricacies of it changing from a mobile suit to some kind of flight form can make the actual mobile suit a little on the weak side, but I don't find that so much with this kit. Sometimes in the knees if you don't lock them properly, but this has held up over the last few years so well. Even beyond the transformation, this just looks phenomenal. The things that Katoki did with this keeps it looking very fresh while at the same time still has that classic Double Zeta feeling. What I really like is the painted silver parts that come through onto the surface. They really add an extra dimension. Everything just works the way that it should, and once it's transformed, it looks phenomenal. Once again, all of this goes double for the Fats Verka, in case you're thinking of getting that one. It's just you don't really have the transformation, because the Fats is not a transforming suit. Not that you can't try, but I mean straight built out of the box. What can I say? The Master Grade Double Zeta Verka is eye-catching, it's big, is so much fun to build, and I highly recommend building one if you have not. Dropping in the 4th position of my least favorite Master Grades is a kit that has disappointed me to my core. That, of course, is the Master Grade Exia Dark Matter. This thing looks phenomenal. The Dark Matter is such a cool variant of the Exia Amazing, which is a variant of the Exia, which is a cool suit anyway. Now, I've said time and time again that I don't like this kit because it has just shattered to pieces on me. It keeps losing part after part after part after part. Now, I built this a long time ago when I just straight built kits, just outright built them, put them on the shelf, done. Nothing extra, you know, to help them on their journey to being a good model kit. I've always meant to come back to this kit to try and build it again, using a little bit of plastic cement here and there, top coat the whole thing, tighten it up, because I do believe inside of this, there is a somewhat decent kit. Of course, I keep harping on about it over and over again, but the Exia does need a 2.0 to bring it up to the same awesome standard we've got with the Master Grade Dynames and the Master Grade Kyrios. Just out of the box, I found the Dark Matter to be an absolute nightmare. Once again, one of those kits that just keeps shedding parts, falling over, breaking, and I'm pretty sure I've lost almost 10% of the plastic of this kit. Only grab this one right here if you're going to put in that extra effort. Now, talking about kits that hold up over time, my number 4 favorite Master Grade of all time is the Master Grade Gundam Age 1 Normal. I feel like I've spoken about this kit over and over and over again, and it's just what Bandai did with this kit is pretty much just perfection. It's both simplistic, but packing in everything that it needs to pack in all at the one time. This is a real iconic redesign of the RX-78-2 for a new, younger generation. The design is incredibly clean, it looks great, and there's a couple of cool elements to this build that I absolutely love. The kind of great type texture that they've put into a lot of the surface armor that kind of looks like venting just gives it a cool 3-dimensional feel. The use of almost plastic-like stickers on the knees is a great way to actually get around the issues with the color separation. It looks like actual plastic because it is actual stick-on plastic. The clear parts are all backed by foil, which makes them pop ever so well. And this kit isn't inundated with too much stuff. It just, I don't know, I love it. It can pose up a storm, look fantastic, and feels great too. If you want yourself a somewhat simple Master Grade of something that is very RX-78-2 looking, but don't want the RX-78-2, I recommend giving this one a go. So getting into the top 3s now, and my number 3 least favorite kits, because it's more than one kit, is the Master Grade MG Gundam line. Now this is outright unfair, because these kits are very old. These are from 2002. So I'm sure if I went back any further, which I will, I would probably dislike those kits as well. So what can I say? All I can say is if you are jumping in to getting some kits in 2021, don't know a whole lot about kits, well, these were the ones that had the first ever inner frames. So this is before Master Grade 2.0 even came out, so these were incredibly innovative for their time. But, of course, that does not hold up 20 years later, which honestly is a completely moot point. So yeah, I guess that's the whole point of this being my least favorite kits, and sadly for them, they end up on that list. So my number 3 favorite kit of all time is the Master Grade Jesta. Now this is funny, and this really goes to show that your opinion can go a full 180 degrees on a kit. When this came out, I didn't do a full review of it, but I was trying to do a kind of all-inclusive monthly gunpla kind of video, and in that I spoke about the Jesta, saying that it, well, just felt a bit like an upscaled high grade with some Master Grade aspects like the hands added to it. That it was a little too simple feeling and just didn't feel like a Master Grade. Now I take that back entirely now, because out of all of the Master Grade unicorn kits that came out Around that time, this is the one for me that has held up the best. I've built 3 of them. That's the standard version as well as the 2 premium Bandai versions. They're still fantastic. They still look great. They all stand up perfect, and there is no complaints from me about them at all. Still to this day, I think these are my favorite Gym variant Master Grades, and that's saying a lot because I love the Gym Sniper. I even love the standard Gym 2.0. It's just there's something about it. The Jesta has that kick-arse cool factor, and the kit is great on top of that. This is one of those kits that holds up so well you can just grab it off your shelf, pose it for some photography or just for the sake of posing it, then take it out of the pose and put it back on your shelf and not worrying about dropping something falling off, or anything like that. It's just a good, simple, solid build, and I highly recommend getting 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait a minute, how many Jestas were there? 3? Then a couple more narrative? I don't remember. Get some anyway. So getting this silver medal for my second least favorite Master Grade of all time, there's a little bit of a tie here, and I've talked about these so many times, and I'm going to pick one over the other. That is the Master Grade Delta Gundam. This I hate for one reason and one reason only. The plastic just falls apart. Now, I'm not sure what Bandai was doing back when these were releasing, because a lot of the Master Grade Unicorn kits, for me, the plastic just snaps after a while. The Sinaju snapped. Riesel snapped. But the Delta Plus has some tiny little bits here, there, and everywhere as part of its transformation that are just begging to snap right out of the box. Now, I'm not sure if this has been updated plastic-wise in recent releases or re-releases. I would love to know if it has or not, because I would love to get it again, because I love that mobile suit. Just the kit, I don't even want to go near it, don't even want to breathe near it. It's just gonna fall apart, which is a shame because it does look great. So blasting into the number 2 spot of my second favorite Master Grade of all time is the Master Grade Freedom 2.0. Now what Bandai did with this kit is phenomenal. They took the Freedom Gundam, which already had a Master Grade, and instead of just making a new Master Grade, they redesigned it, almost giving it a bit of a metal build kind of flair. If Bandai do ever re-release any of the other older Seed Master Grades like the Impulse, Destiny, Strike Freedom, I hope they do this again. It is just so cool. Even on top of that awesome look, this kit does pack in a lot of awesome articulation and a lot of cool gimmicks, and it just looks, what can I say? It just looks badass. However, this kit isn't without its downfalls, because this kit is known to have some very prone to breaking hips. The hips on mine broke, so I did have to replace them with some aftermarket metal parts. So if you can grab some of those while buying this kit, I highly recommend that you do. Also, after a few years, this has loosened up a little bit. This is simple to deal with, you just have to kind of disassemble it to a degree and pop everything back in. It is just because it is quite a complex kit, but besides that, no complaints, has aged perfectly, and still looks killer. Again, I totally hope they do this for the Destiny at least. Maybe the Sword Impulse. Strike Freedom too. And getting the gold medal for my least favorite Master Grade kit of all time, and once again, this is not fair at all because this is the oldest Master Grade I've ever built, so I guess I'm a bit ageist when it comes to Master Grades. And this is the Master Grade EZ8. So the reason I'm kind of a little bitter about this one in particular is because I adore the EZ8, and I adore the Ground Gundam too. 8th MS Team is one of the greatest short Gundam series of all time. It's just so cool, and the EZ8 fight scene is one of the best animated Gundam fight scenes of all time. The one with the Goof custom. So that is why I wish we would get a 2.0 of the EZ8, because this kit is just, well, it doesn't have the awesome aura and edge that the EZ8 has. The kit itself can barely move, which in a way makes sense. It is a ground-pounding real robot after all, but it would be nicer to have something with a little bit more articulation for playing around with, some more detail. And hey, this isn't even a 2.0, so it doesn't even have a full inner frame. I know there is a lot of kits out there that need a 2.0 pretty badly, but this to me is one that deserves that 2.0 renewal. And number 1 is Barbie. What can I say? You probably saw it coming a mile away. The first question might be, why is Dynamez not in here? And well, Dynamez is an absolutely phenomenal Master Grade kit. It's just I don't like the mobile suit Dynamez as much as I like the ones that popped up on this particular list, but it would have been in 6th or 7th without a doubt. However, Gundam Barbatos is one of the most unique looking Gundams of all time, so that means the build is always awesome, because you're building something that is nothing like, well, most Gundam mobile suits. It's got that real visceral look, that weird narrow unarmored waist, huge upper body, cool legs, massive mace, and some cool weaponry. On top of that, Bandai made this kit pretty much perfect. The color separation is killer, the articulation is great, it holds up really well, and all I can say is, when is my Master Grade Barbatos Lupus? That is what I want, and I want it now. Why is it taking so long? How long has it been since the Barbie came out? It's been almost 2 years. Where's Madame Lupus? But yeah, if you haven't built a Barbie, I recommend that you do. So yeah, that was my quick, off-the-cuff, top 5 favorite and least favorite Master Grades. Like I mentioned, that is subject to change on the regular. Someday I'll pick up the Dynamez, maybe even the Kyrios, or something like the Hyakushiki 2.0, and that would displace something like the Double Zeta or the Age any day. It's a hard line for me to boil down. All of the kits are so good, usually. But yeah, as always, let me know down in the comments. Did you expect what you saw in here? Is there anything that you do not agree with? Anything that you do agree with? And of course, drop your top 5 favorites and least favorites when it comes to Master Grades down there as well, just in case there's something I've missed that I need to build or completely avoid. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much as well to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and helping out the channel. And as always, I will see you next time. As usual, this video right here would not have been possible without each and every single one of you guys, so thank you so much for watching, and a special shout out to those of you who support the channel on the memberships, as well as over on Patreon, including Bakito Official, Caleb Engelhart, Global Frequency Studios, Joseph Kukluk, Lauren Seahack, Mr. Winters, Sean T, Tyler Sanders, Van Fawn, and Craig Jerry.